Hi everyone, Jan Fursdon here from Fursdon House. Well, I have another journal to bring to you. This is another fashion journal. I'm really getting into this. This particular one is spoken for, and it came from all of the paper dolls, if you will. That's what you want to call them. All the ones that came through here were in this book, and it's 100 Dresses, Costume Institute, the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Beautiful book. This is like my fourth one that I've managed to take apart and reuse. I don't tear them out. I gently take them out and reuse them. And then I keep some of the covers and stuff. But anyway, that's what this one comes from. And just for those who may ask, yes, I do have one that I will never cut up. It's in my house. But if you're in my studio, it's kind of like fair game. So anyway, it is large. The problem is that all of the jewelry pieces, bits and findings, and ephemera that I put on them takes up a lot of space. So that's why it's thick. It has 3 signatures. And let's see, the actual dimensions are, whoops, don't do centimeters. It's just shy of 9 inches. 11, just over 11 inches. And baby girl has almost 5.5 inches of spine. But again, that's to make room for all of those pieces of jewelry. And I've used, oh goodness, a lot. I think it's either 40 or 42 paper dolls in here that are embellished. As you can see, I've used this ribbon, lovely ribbon. Got it at Hobby Lobby. And I wanted something on the front, but I didn't want it too busy, because of this beautiful fabric. And this fabric came from my mother-in-law, Valerie Fursdon. She passed away last year, but I am dedicating this book to her because she loved fashion. She was very good at it, and she could just put things together that I would never have even dreamed to put together, and they look great. So Valerie, this is for you. She was always amazed at me creating journals, and so this is for you, Valerie. Here we have, there's a little darling, she's kind of big. We have a tassel here. Let me lay her back down, then I'll show you how to do the front. I did not make this tassel. I wish I could claim it, but I didn't. I've had it for years and years, and it's made from wire and metal findings and glass beads. You can see the little leaves and things. As I said, it's been throughout my house. I've brought it out in the studio to enjoy it. And I couldn't come up with something that I really wanted on here because I didn't want it too busy, but I wanted it to make a statement. And then I saw this and thought, well, I don't know. So I tried it. And rats, it worked. So now I'm going to have to give it away. But anyway, I love it. And I thought, well, it's all good. That's what it's meant for, is to be enjoyed. So I'll put him on here. And on the way to close this, I was agonizing. How can I close? I'm used to closing mine, you know, with ribbon or whatever, and just making a bow or whatever on the front. And so it was escaping my little brain that I didn't have to have it closed on the front. So I didn't, because I wanted to put this on there, but it wouldn't work with the buckle. And that is literally what I did. I made a buckle. I bought a buckle, Hobby Lobby. 2 were in a pack. And let me just undo it here for you. So it's perfect in that you don't have to have it on the front. And what I did, for those of you who don't know how to do these things, because I didn't until like last year, the middle piece, you always want that middle piece, at least I do. And I just stitched here. That's about as close as my machine would allow me to get with there, but that's okay. So there, that's stitched down. And then what you do, I went ahead and, you know, stitched this one down. All those threads are still showing. Drives me nuts. Oh, I hate little threads. I love to see people using these threads and stuff loosely in their journals, but when I do it, I can't stand it. I'm kind of OCD. Anyway, and you just put this up in here, like so, and then down through that one. I'm sure there are YouTube videos and stuff, but that's how, see, more threads. And you can tighten it as tight as you need to do. So if it expands, contracts, whatever, you've got it. So these, again, these came from Hobby Lobby, and there were 2 in a pack. And I am thrilled with them, because now I'm not going to be stuck with just making closures on the front. And that middle piece, I was with Valerie, my mother-in-law, when I purchased these. We were in Atlanta, and the Scott's Antique Market. And I think it's the first full weekend of each month. Most fabulous place if you ever want to go for, oh gosh, anything. They sell to wholesalers as well as just people like me and you. They sell to people who own antique shops and things like that, and it's just amazing. It's 2 massive buildings, one on either side of the road, and you could spend all weekend in there and never see the same thing twice. Anyway, so, and this fabric, again, that came from Valerie's. She has some beautiful fabrics. I was so pleased to be able to use her fabric and to honor her with that. So there this is. And then you can see, and this book I constructed myself. I wanted it nice and strong to last forever. And if you want to know a good, okay brain, just stop working mid-sentence. A good YouTube to watch for creating a book from scratch, Nikki Adigan. She does amazing work and very thorough. And I'll put the link below, but she's the one who I followed to create this. So let's go ahead and opening it. I'm telling you, I'm on a roll. We have 3 signatures. I've put little trims there, and I started to put different colored pieces like this on here, but then it seemed to clash, so I thought monochromatic. And then there's one special one, which just happens to correspond with one of my favorite dresses, but oh well. So, let me see if make sure I'm in view here. So here's our pocket. This backing is paper. I purchased this paper from a lovely friend of mine, Karen Jenkins. Thank you, Karen. It's amazing. I love it. And it was sitting over here, and it needed to be used. So, oh darn, I used it. So it is just, I love the look of it. Here I've just done a faux wax seal. This is glue gun. And then just some bits and pieces under in there. This is a letter that will go to the, I'll just put this in here to remind me. But it will go to the purchaser. I always like to include a letter kind of explaining things and so on and so forth. So that'll just help me there. Now this, I fell in love with this years ago. I think 2 years ago is when I purchased it. It's a digital kit. And it's a poem, Victorian. And it's actually a puzzle. And even the lady who bought it and replicated it for digital wasn't sure what the answer to the puzzle was. But anyway, it is Victorian. And this Victorian woman or lady, girl, literally put all this together and came up with this puzzle. And if I'm not mistaken, it has something to do with about school times or something like that. Anyway, I'll put the link for that video on there. It shows you, she talks about where she found it, and I just love it. And to make it pop even brighter, I have been introduced to the joys of photo paper. And that's, if you can see the sheen on there, this is photo paper. And you can still write on the back. As a matter of fact, you can still see I have my numbers here, which I will erase. I thought I'd already erased them, but they have to be in order for you to understand, you know, what you're reading and everything. So I just lightly penciled that in. But anyway, that is, I just love it. I think they're so cool. So there's that one. And here we come to this one is the oldest known complete ensemble. To hold these in, I put one, the last one I made, I did 2 small Velcro. And that got a little tiresome. So this time I've used 1 Velcro piece, but larger. And so now you can see basically what I've done. I cut out the figures, and then I back them with tea-stained paper. And this is late 17th century, about 1695. On the reverse, I put all of this data. It is British earliest complete European costume made of striped wool and embroidered in silver gilt. Now, you can just imagine in 1695, this was not for the regular lower classes or middle classes. It was strictly, I mean, so outrageously expensive. So detailed. All of this is hand done. And that's what I love about all of these old fashions. They are hand done, and it's just amazing. And I've just added the little cameo up there. And use the razor here. Kind of feel with your fingers, if you will, where the thing is, and voila, there it is. And as you can see, I've decorated, stitched the tops of every page, tops and bottoms, with different kinds of stitches. Every page, if you will, in the signature has one of these little tabs. That one has a heart. And inside, rather than, because I don't like the idea of someone, I mean, you do with it whatever you want if you purchased it, but I don't like the idea of writing here, and I don't like the idea of writing on the back of the paper doll. So what I've done is create pockets. So you can see every one of these has a pocket. And this one, again, this is that photo paper. I am in love with photo paper. You can get it for both what is it, laser printers and inkjet printers. I have an inkjet printer, and I just back them because you can't write on that on the reverse, so I just back it with paper that you have, and I did some stenciling, obviously. But that is, oh goodness, I love this digital print. I missed it. This is from one of my favorite artists, Lorna, at Tailor Made Journals, and it's called, if I remember correctly, Leather Gothic Grunge or something like that. Totally missed when it came out. And someone else was using this, and Sharon Harth, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, Sharon, SharonHoerth, she just created a fabulous journal and used some of that paper, and I was like, oh, where'd you get that, da-da-da, and she told me, so now I'm using it. I like it because it's got a sheen on it. So here we have another one. I put some lace. You never know how I'm going to decorate these. I never know. I just love that. It's, you can see, well, maybe you can't, but there's scenes depicted in there. And this is called a robe volante, 1735 to 1740, French. And it's like a tobacco silk that's been used, and it's just gorgeous. Another one of my favorites. Now, in my first one that I made of these, it was for myself. And there were two large ones, this one and another one, where I hadn't realized that I could still keep them complete, but take them out. So in mine, the one I made for myself, this one and another one are just part of the page. But these come out, and I love them. Is that not cool? I just love it. And again, she has bracelets, a little bit of this. This was a piece from the actual book that was highlighting what these pieces, or no, what these pieces were. So I just cut it out and added it on top. I have Kathy Wyatt, sweet friend from one of my retreats. She gave me oodles and scads. That's a term that my grandmother used. Oodles and scads of jewelry findings and stuff. And Kathy, I have gone to town on it. She's been so generous, and she knew I was doing a lot of these and using up my stash of jewelry bits. And I've just used the blue paper, blue ribbon. Court dress, 1750, also called robe à la Française. There that one is. Just gorgeous. And I will tell you now, I will pronounce things incorrectly because most of it's in French. And that's just the way it is. I'll give it my best shot. And then there's a little thing that I matched. I tried to match these up with whatever was on the front. And then in here, there's this one. And again, it's on that photo paper. More stenciling. And again, you can see the stitching here and here. Here we have slide it out. It's just a metal heart. Robe à la Française, 1760 to 1770, French. This book doesn't always include a lot about the dresses, like what type of fabric it is or whatever. So that wasn't my most favorite part. But just look at this. It's just amazing. The detail, all of this embroidery, hand embroidered. It's just phenomenal. And here we have two more. We'll take you out first. Lay that down there. 2 roses. Little beaded bracelet. Robe à la Anglaise. Robe à la Anglaise. 1775, American. This one is made from green Spitalfields silk damask. I'm not sure what Spitalfields is, but there is a pattern in there. It's all monotone, but there's a beautiful pattern of flowers and greenery and stuff in there. It's just beautiful. And again, that one is American. I think I'll not put these back in. That'll make it a little bit faster. This one, put the little pin there. I just had fun. This is 1780, 1785, Robe à la Polonaise. Hand-painted Chinese silk. Now, can you believe that? Hand-painted on Chinese silk. Just gorgeous. And on here we have a little charm that's gone along with the green. And inside, again using the photo paper. All of the ones on the inside, I believe, are the photo paper. And I just do the stenciling on it. So this gives you places to write. And you can also put in your own papers in here if you want. All of this hand embroidered. Little bracelet and pin. Made of fine linen mull with a rare matching fichu. I think that's how you pronounce that. The fichu is this. Frequently they wore, well, like in the green one you can see here, there's one, but it doesn't exactly match the dress. Whereas this one does match the dress. That's why it's rare. And let's see, it's probably European, 1798, hand embroidered. And here we have this one. Bodice with long sleeves for day, a low cut short sleeves for evening. So this is the evening view. But there was another one where it had sleeves, longer sleeves, and you could literally wear that during the day. Let's see, American or European, about 1855, with 2 interchangeable bodices. Notice the silk wrapped around as bracelets, basically. I thought that was cool. And in here we have this pretty. Again. And the charm for this one is little beads in amber. Here we have one. Soon as some of these, it was funny, I'd look at it and immediately I knew, okay, this is what it needs. According to Jan, the world according to Jan. So I just gave her a little bit of a hemline or faux pearl along the hemline of the little whatever that thing is. Collar, yes. Oh, gracious mercy. But this one just needed bows. So I put bows on it. And this one, isn't that lovely? I've just used some shell buttons here. That was part of a tiny earring that I used to have like when I was about 18. Just a few years old. And it was like, perfect! And this one is Promenade Dress, American, 1862 to 64. White cotton piqué. So a promenade dress. And I don't think I said anything about this one, did I? Duh. Day dress, 1857, American. And it looks like taffeta, although it didn't say so, but that's what it looked like, was taffeta. So this one I'm going to go ahead and put in because I don't want that umbrella to get scrunched. And there's the little butterfly here and in here. Isn't this yummy? So much fun. Here we have, this was worn by Mrs. Cornelius Vanderbilt, I believe. Wedding ensemble travel suit circa 1887 by Herman Rosberg, American, worn by Louise Carnegie after her wedding to Andrew Carnegie. And this was her traveling suit. So a little bit somber for our day and age, but still beautiful. And you figure when they were traveling, it was trains, things of that nature. Coal was a problem. I mean, there was soot. You don't see that really in movies and things, but lots of soot. So that's why a lot of their traveling outfits were darker. And those were little earrings. And here we have that. All right, come on, behave yourself. Earring and part of something or other. Evening gown, early 1880s, by Liberty of London, British. So yes, I never had paper dolls when I was growing up, oddly enough. But now I kind of like made up for lost cause. There's a little charm. And then, oh, this one's yummy. Is that not cool? And then again, space to write on. And here we have, there we go. Visiting dress, American, 1895. It too looks like taffeta. There's a slight sheen to it. Let's see. Yeah, I did pull that one out. Okay, this is going into the third signature. So we're getting a little bit more modern. Here's the piece that goes with it. Little jewelry finding here. And these are glass buttons. Robe de Style. Spring, Summer, 1924. Jean Lanvin, French. It says paillettes. I'm not sure what those are. Paillettes, beads, and weightless ivory silk tulle corded with silver metallic thread. You can't really see the design in there, but it's got to be yummy. And look at all those threads in there. Again, this is handmade. Just amazing. And inside, this one is part of that collection from Lorna Taylor, Tailor Made Journals. Again, I'll put that link below. Isn't that just beautiful colors? Just gorgeous. Here we have, this one is American, 1920s, created by Raymond Duncan, who's brother of the famous dancer Isadora Duncan. Opaque Tussa silk tunic overlaying silk chiffon. He was a bit of an eccentric. This was a pendant, I believe. A bit of an eccentric. From this age, the period of dress, he expected anyone who came into his house to dress in that style, in that particular era, about Roman era. He'd been on the, yeah, he was special. But, and he wore it himself. The whole family wore it. That was lovely. This is Mariano Fortuny, evening gown, 1920s. Fortuny, I think. I'm sure I'm slaughtering it. Anyway, he was the one who came up with this fabric. He invented a process to do silk, and it literally, it's like it's elastic. That's how it kind of reminds you of it, because it forms to you And it's just amazing. He was quite the innovator, and everyone wanted to know his secret. Too bad. Didn't happen. There's another one. That was a little pin. Little fake ivory, faux ivory, what do you want to call it, I think. It's just so sweet, though. It might be real ivory for all I know. Because I get these from Bits and Pieces. And I have been known to take jewelry apart that I get at, like, garage sales and stuff like that. Silk damask overlaid with silk tulle, 1913, created by Paul Poiret, French. And there's the little charms here. And on the inside, we have this beautiful piece. This one's fun. Well, they're all fun. What can I say? That's part of a bracelet that I've had for ages and ages. Knew I was going to use it, but it was difficult coming up with what to use it for. And then along came this dress, and that was the end of the discussion. Evening Dress, 1926-27, by Gabrielle Coco Chanel. Remember, she's the one who came up with the, quote, little black dress that was so popular. And even now, I mean, a black dress will get you all kinds of wear out of it. And that was hers, one of many. This next one is also a Chanel. It was a cardigan, and the cardigan was back here. It was sort of a cream color, but this was the collar that it was matching the dress all the way around it. I've just put in little glass sleeves. Day Ensemble, Circle, 1927. Gabrielle Coco Chanel, French. And Chanel's mantra, if you will, was to lessen the restrictions on clothes so that women could be more comfortable. There's that little charm there. So that was one of the things that she would bring. It was just amazing, and using softer fabrics that moved with you. So it was amazing. She made quite the difference and kept going. I mean, she was working at a time after World War II, where it was not easy to do be in this business, because no one had any money at this point. But she kept at it. And I think this one's also a Chanel. Evening Ensemble, Gabrielle Chanel, yes, 1933-35. Coco was a nickname. Has a little ring and a piece from a bracelet. And then we have this one. And that was an earring. Evening Dress, 1938, Madeleine Vionnet, French. That I put over to secure how that was actually sewn in. Mostly I've used glue, but every now and then. And this one is a fun piece. Still takes a little bit of fiddling with it. Here's the charm that goes with it. And this that you see here is actually an attached purse, which is how they used to, long before this was made, you would have little purse things attached to your garments in the, the well-to-do. That was from a necklace. This one is in 1939 Evening Dress, Jean Lanvin, French. Gray silk taffeta with a pocket. So I had to decorate the pocket. And the paper in this one. Let's see, how well are we doing on time? Okay. Those were earrings. I love them. Coco Chanel, Fall Winter 38-39. The idea was to mimic starbursts of fireworks. And here I've just put in a ribbon that has intertwined with little pearls, pearl here and pearl there. This one is by Jacques Fat. I think is how he pronounces it. French. It looks like Fath, F-A-T-H, but I think he pronounces it Fat. Kind of odd. Evening dress, 1947. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This is the kind of fashion I enjoy. Not what they're coming out with today, but this is Velasquez Evening Dress, 1939, by Cristobal Balenciaga, French. I'm not sure. I think that was a pendant. Kathy Wyatt. Kathy, you don't know how many times I've pulled things out of the things you've given me to use. Such fun. And here we have this one. Pisanelle, I'm not sure. Cocktail Ensemble, Fall Winter, $49.50, Christian Dior. So she has a little thing here and there, and a bracelet, and then our statement piece here. I love this color and the way that it's, I think it's got to have, I'm not sure. Looks like some velvet in the dress and maybe taffeta here, I'm not sure. It looks like it has a sheen to it, but it looks stiffer. So anyway, absolutely gorgeous. And here we have necklace, a little here. Beautiful. Christian Dior with assistant Yves Saint Laurent. So this was when Saint Laurent was just getting started and he worked under Christian Dior. And Laurent is the one who is credited with coming up with the Y evening dress. Y evening fall winter 55-56. And you see the Y here. That's that neckline and then straight down. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And here's the little charms. Go with that one. And in here, some more beautiful, 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 beautiful paper. Yes, it's true. I like the paper. You see the sheen on there. Again, the reverse is plain, so you can write on. Again, that's from the Tailor-Made Journals kit. Let's see, this one needs to go down. Some of them go up, some go down. Depends on how wide they are. And this one has a little flower. I think it's like a resin or something or other. I got it off of a pin. Not sure. And then our bracelet. Necklace. Eventail cocktail dress. Don't know what that means. Fall Winter 56-57 by Christian Dior. Beautiful. I hate the idea of sitting with something like this because you know that's going to get crushed when you sit down, or at least it would with my belly, but looks great when you're standing up. So this is the only one that I've used a little bit of a little bit different treatment. This one has a flower on it and a little bit of shell that brings out the color. This is one of my favorites. Now all of this ribbon embroidery. Now I've done ribbon embroidery. Didn't look anything nearly as wonderful as that. Just beautiful. And this was a court dress. It was worn by Mrs. George Henry O'Neill, formerly Bertha Faddlehan Drake, for presentation before George V in June of 28. The court presentation ensemble was by Beausois, I think is how it pronounces it. And unfortunately, the book did not include these two pieces. This says it also had a headdress and a fan in addition to the train. So you've got the train here, but there was a headdress and a fan. And all of those were required at court. There were certain ways you had to dress. And in 1928, this dress was worn. And again, why they didn't include the other pieces, I'll never know. But I just took flowers that mimicked the colors that they used and kind of went with it. But again, that is one of my favorites. So it was appropriate that it had a little special thing. What can I say? And, oops, get back in there. And here's some more tailor-made journal. Beautiful paper. And there. Let's see, we're in the third signature. Here we go. This one I always thought was just fun. It was, that's the best way I can describe it. It was called Corrine Evening Ensemble, Fall Winter 1987-1988 by Christian Lacroix, French. It was lace dotted net and ribbon applique. So all those ribbons were put on there, and it's just, that's a lot of ribbon. I'm not sure if you can see the detail, but it's phenomenal. And that is just a beautiful button that I had. And again, I use just bits and pieces. Some are whole, some are not whole. It just depends. But I enjoy it. There wasn't much that I could do with this one because it just needed certain things. And this one's by Valentina, American, 1940. And I literally just put the little faux pearls and a little faux ring. Beautiful dress. And there's the charm. And this is this one. This one's one of my fun favorites. I'm always reminded of an alligator when I look at this dress, but what can I say? And these buttons, beautiful glass little buttons. Thank you, Pat. She sent me those, and then there's another little piece right there, but I just love these little buttons. So, it's so sweet of her. And it is called a staircase dress. Now, you can imagine why, but I think it's an alligator. Anyway, Fall Winter 1994-95 by Issei Miyake, Japanese, and it's pleated polyester. Just beautiful. And like I said, it's fun. It's one of my favorite fun ones. This one I had fun with. This is in the 1950s, Claire McCardle. I'm sorry, 1942. It's called a wraparound popover dress. It's American. And what it was designed, and again, I've used these two pieces here to anchor the thread that I sew this on, because I didn't want to just trust glue because it's hanging. But the idea was this wraparound dress would be quick to get in and out of, like when you're, you know, you need something dressy kind of to wear in the evenings, but you don't want to wear dressy because you've got to cook. Well, as soon as I saw this, I thought of chatelaine and, you know, the housekeeper of the castle and so on and so forth. So that's why I gave her a set of keys. So to me, she can still be the chatelaine of the castle. What can I say? And there's the little charm. And I also put a little key on there too. What can I say? And inside, isn't that beautiful? William Morris. I love William Morris. Such beautiful prints. Not all of his prints strike me, but some of the ones that do are just like, oh my goodness. Here we have, come on, there we go. Evening Dress, 1965-66 by Cristobal Balenciaga, French. Black lace, cream colored silk, and a sheer black chiffon. It just looks fun. Fun, fun, fun. And here, get her in here so I don't mess her up. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Evening Gown, House of Dior by John Galliano, British, 1960. You can see a lot of these you could wear now very easily. And there's the A little pendant, sweet little glass heart. And inside we have this piece. And again, these pockets, you can also add your own things to them if you like. This one is 1996 by Versace. Evening gown, spring, summer. That's 1996. Which one is this? 2003. Tom Ford designer, House of Gucci, Italian. And these were both earrings that I had when I was about 16, 17. Wore them for years and years. I keep things, as you can probably tell. Who knew that I'd be working in paper dolls and journals? This is the other large dress that I was telling you about earlier, where there were two dresses that were large and I couldn't, in the one I made for myself, which was the first time I'd ever done these, I just, attached them to the page in the middle of a signature. But the last one and this one I've made, I literally have it so that you can bring it out. Just beautiful. We have here. This is Maria Luisa, gown, spring, summer, 1998, House of Dior by John Galliano. It's nice to be able to bring them out. And these two large ones, you don't really have to put anything in them to hold them because they're so large. Oh, and here's the charm for that one, and it's a little crown. And inside, I love this picture. I saw it. It's from a cemetery, actually, believe it or not. And it's a carving, and I was just totally blown away by the intricacy. I mean, it looks like the fabric. It looks like you could touch the fabric and rearrange it. It's just amazing. And yet that has been carved. And so I took a picture of it, and just beautiful. I have difficulty working with paper and fabric, and here they are working with stone. Totally amazing. There's this one. Button, an earring, dress, fall, winter, 87-88 by Karl Lagerfeld of the House of Chanel. If I'm not mistaken, I think, I didn't put it on the back, but if I'm not mistaken, that's leather. Those little stripes running across. It's actually leather, which would be typical of some of the things that Galliano has done. Or not Galliano, but, who was it? Lagerfeld. Duh. Brain. Now this one's just pure fun. I would not wear it unless I wore clothes over it, but this is an actual dress. Evening dress. Fall, winter, 91-92 by Versace, Italian. Of course, in today's day and age, that looks rather prim and proper, but no comment. Don't get me started. And here's the little charm for that. And, oh, gorgeous paper. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And here is the last one. And she comes from the Alright, come on, behave. This is the one that is on the front of the book. You can see I had to shorten it somewhat on the, as you're facing at the left side, but still managed to get it in there. And this, oh goodness, we were on a cruise this last spring, and we went to, well, my brain's dead and I can't think of it, but anyway, there was a department store we popped into, we'd forgotten something, and I saw these in the section for hair pieces and, you know, barrettes and things like that. And this was part of it. And I was just like, oh my gosh, so beautiful. This is called a propaganda dress by Vivienne Westwood, British, fall winter 2005-2006. Made of silk satin, draped, fitted, and spiraled around the body in one unbroken length. Now, can you imagine that? That is one unbroken length. It's just draped, fitted, probably sewn together on the model as she wore it. But that is the end. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I had a wonderful time making them. Yes, it is big. But it is sturdy, and it will last forever. So if you have any questions, please just let me know. I love to hear from you. And again, this one is spoken for. I hope you're having a wonderful day. It's Saturday. It's just beautiful. Although it's hot and sticky. We are in Alabama, though, so it makes sense. And we are in July. So anyway, there it is. Take good care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.